Welcome to today's explainer, where we're diving deep into Terraria boss progression. You know, we all remember that overwhelming feeling of being completely lost when we first booted up the game, right? But honestly, even seasoned veterans can get tripped up by the exact sequence of progression. So today, we're laying out the definitive, optimized roadmap. We're going to take you all the way from nervously swinging a basic copper short sword to ultimately ruling the entire world of Terraria. We're breaking down that whole complex web of bosses, biomes, and required items, so you know exactly what you need to be doing at every single stage of the game. Let's get into it.
Now this quote absolutely hits the nail on the head. It captures the true essence of the game perfectly. Terraria isn't just about building pretty houses or digging massive holes. It's literally all about preparation. These bizarre, ridiculously resilient, and massive creatures are your true progression milestones. Without defeating them, your world literally cannot evolve. Everything you do is just a stepping stone to your next huge fight.
So, here is our roadmap for the journey. We've got 4 phases. 1. Conquering pre-hard mode bosses. 2. The hard mode boss gauntlet. 3. Tackling the optional bosses. And 4. How to resummon bosses.
Section 1. Conquering pre-hard mode bosses, the stepping stones to your first massive turning point.
Okay, so here's your chronological gauntlet for the early game. It's a very clear, escalating path. You'll start off by taking down the Eye of Cthulhu. Then you'll move on to your specific world evil boss. After that, you conquer Skeletron, deal with the Queen Bee, and finally, you take a terrifying plunge down into the underworld to face the Wall of Flesh.
But here's the catch. Finding these bosses isn't just about wandering into a boss room. It's like a giant puzzle. For example, the Eye of Cthulhu is basically just waiting for you to hit 200 HP and 10 defense. And then boom, it has a 33% chance to ambush you. Skeletron? He demands a midnight chat with an old man right outside the dungeon. For Queen Bee, you've got to hunt down and physically destroy larvae hidden deep in the perilous underground jungle. And most dramatically, this is wild, the Wall of Flesh asks you to mercilessly drop a voodoo doll of your guide directly into boiling lava. You really have to be deliberate with your actions here.
And speaking of being deliberate, right around your second required boss, you hit a literal fork in the road. This entirely depends on the random generation of your world. If your map is infected with the purple corruption biome, you'll be breaking 3 shadow orbs to summon the massive worm-like Eater of Worlds. But if you spawned with the red crimson biome, you'll be smashing 3 crimson hearts to face the Brain of Cthulhu instead. It's the exact same step in your progression, but it demands a completely different combat strategy depending on the specific evil infecting your world.
Section 2. The hard mode boss gauntlet. The training wheels are officially off.
Okay, let me level with you for a second. You cannot just rush to the next boss on the list once hard mode starts. If you do, you will absolutely be destroyed. You must methodically prepare. You're going to want to hunt for those incredibly dangerous mimics in the newly formed Hallowed biome. You definitely need to save up your coins and buy leaf wings from the Witch Doctor for some much-needed mobility. But most importantly, you have got to smash altars to siege your world with brand new, incredibly strong hard mode ores and then go mine them. Only when you've done all that are you actually ready.
Once you're properly geared up, this is your new chronological hit list. It's a steep, escalating ladder leading directly to the cosmic endgame. You'll tackle the mechanical bosses first, then delve deep into the jungle for Plantera and Golem, head back up to confront the lunatic cultist, and finally, face the ultimate apocalyptic challenge, the Moon Lord.
So your first massive hard mode hurdle is this terrifying trio of upgraded metallic nightmares. We're talking about the Twins, the Destroyer, and Skeletron Prime. They are souped-up, super lethal versions of bosses you fought way earlier. To fight them, you need specific crafted items, the mechanical eye, the mechanical worm, and the mechanical skull. And a crucial detail here, they absolutely must be fought at night. The biome itself doesn't matter, but the time of day definitely does. You have to craft the item, summon the boss, and basically survive until dawn.
Now look at the incredible domino effect that happens for the end game. Defeating those 3 mechanical bosses causes Plantera to spawn down in the underground jungle. When you finally defeat Plantera, she drops a temple key. You then use that exact key to enter the jungle temple to fight Golem. Defeating Golem triggers the cultists to spawn all the way over at your dungeon. Taking them out summons the massive, world-altering celestial pillars, which inevitably summons the final boss, the Moon Lord. It's amazing. Every single victory directly unlocks the door to the next in this unbroken chain of chaos.
Section 3. Tackling the optional bosses. Detours for the brave. Let's talk detours, starting with the pre-hard mode optional encounters. You might just get a random, totally surprising visit from the King Slime during a Slime Rain event, or you can actually craft a slime crown to face him on your own terms. Alternatively, if you head over to the snow biome during a blizzard, you can trigger Deerclops. That's a massive, imposing boss brought over from the Don't Starve Together crossover. Now, neither of these are required, but honestly, the gear they drop is fantastic for the early game.
Now, when it comes to the optional hard mode bosses, timing is literally everything. You can, and definitely should, squash the Queen Slime in the Hollow right after hard mode starts to grab some quick upgrades, but you really need to hold off on the others. You're going to want to wait until after Plantera to take on the beautiful but incredibly deadly Empress of Light, and ideally, wait until after Golem or even right before the Moonlord to try and conquer Duke Fishron out in the ocean. They hit so incredibly hard, so a little patience definitely pays off here.
Okay, before we wrap up the main progression, you might have heard some terrified whispers in the community forums about something called Mextusa. So what exactly is this monstrosity, and do you actually have to fight it to beat the game?
Well, the good news is, unless you are deliberately playing on the chaotic everything seed, you will never have to worry about this thing. Mechidusa is literally all 3 mechanical bosses mashed together into one horrific entity, and it's summoned using a unique item called Okram's Razor. It's a really fun, absolutely brutal challenge for veterans who enjoy being repeatedly obliterated, but it is completely separate from your standard progression. You can breathe easy.
Section 4. How to re-summon bosses. The cycle of combat never truly ends.
A really great feature to remember is that you can re-summon literally every single boss in the game. Whether you're tirelessly farming for that one perfect weapon drop that just refuses to spawn, or you simply want to test out your newfound endgame strength against early-game foes just for fun, the option is always there. You just craft their specific summoning item, like using the Abomination down in the jungle to bring back the Queen Bee, and the fight begins anew.
So what's the big takeaway from all this? Terraria is just a masterpiece of tiered escalation. Now that you have the definitive map to boss progression, from those highly specific spawn conditions to the absolutely crucial preparation phases, the only thing left to do is boot up your world and start prepping for the next fight. Knowing the sheer scale of the journey ahead, are you ready to forge that first copper short sword, or will the Moonlord's reign go unchallenged? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and happy hunting out there.